Welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, where we explore all things books, business, and bullshit. My favorite bees. I'm your host, the fairy coin mother, Cinquanta Cox-Smith of www.cinquantacoxsmith.com. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast. This is your girl, Cinquanta Cox-Smith, and we are here with episode 157. Pray for my script because I really don't know how I am consistently uploading a podcast episode. This week was crazy. I'm crazy busy. I just had deadlines that I had made for myself, and I felt I had to complete them. So I have been literally sitting at the computer for hours and hours on hours. And here it is, Thursday. I knew I needed to record this podcast ever since Monday. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have time to do it. And really, the other goal that I was trying to meet seemed more important to me at that time. Now we are here on Thursday afternoon and getting it done. I'm ashamed because I really should have had this done. I already had the episode title planned out. I already knew what I wanted to talk about. So I am going to actually start with a Facebook post that I made on Tuesday. I wrote on Facebook, I can literally look back and see how I have consistently elevated. To everyone else, it looks like she doesn't know what she wants to do. She's doing too much. She's always doing something. How can I listen to someone who changes what they do every year? Now look at you at that same job, miserable, unfulfilled, and questioning who you are. All of the things I have done led me to my passion in a new career that I had prepared for by doing all the things. I always say, consistency looks different for everyone. I'm consistently elevating. Bow. Let me take a bow. Because I preach to myself. That song, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. That's how I was feeling. I was like, ooh, girl, encourage yourself. You need a word. You need this today. I don't even care if I don't get no likes, no comments, because I can look back on Facebook posts where I was speaking some real stuff 5 years ago, and I look back at those memories and there's no likes. And I look back and I was like, oh, I was speaking some stuff, and I don't know who I was talking to, but looking back at those memories, they like hit right on time for what's going on in my life right now. I want to talk about a lot of people have been shifting. I've seen the shift in the industry as an entrepreneur, people with businesses. We've seen how the explosion happened over the pandemic, and all of these people became super famous. And you remember, I think it was a few episodes ago, I talked about this. I said, these people who went viral in the pandemic, they grew extremely fast. They didn't get to experience a lot of the hiccups and issues with stock and supply chain and paying for taxes or for shipping costs during a holiday. They didn't get to really get that hiccup. Now, they did understand how everything was delayed, but they didn't get the full gist of how the holiday rush and a lot of things are until they had to go through it. So a lot of them probably made mistakes. I feel like at this point, there's been a shift and people were showing up a lot. And we all used to be like, oh, we're going to chill now. But I'm starting to see people feel like they have to show up a lot again. It's almost like that grind, that hustle and bustle is coming back. They have to be seen, to be remembered, to consistently create income for themselves. Now, I'm all for slow and steady wins the race, okay? I retired from, I got to pop out. I got to post on my Instagram 3 times a day to get this many sales. I've graduated from all of that. Just like Tia Morris said, she graduated from her marriage. I graduated from being out here not getting any sleep, hustling from AM to PM to get 5-10 sales a day and possibly make $10,000 a month. I retired because I'm paid in peace. We know this. So a lot of people are going back to work, but there's nothing wrong with that. I've never said there was nothing wrong with that. I love to work. And me, myself, I've gone back to work. I started back working in April. But in reality, did I ever really stop working? My work just looked different. Instead of me getting a paycheck from one company, I just received paychecks from numerous companies. Taking brand collabs is still work. Again, I never really stopped working. I just did not work in that structured 9 to 5 environment. Like I said, when you do collabs, that's a lot of work you have to put in there. You have to plan out things, sign contracts, have meetings, edit, record. There's a lot of things that go in a brand collaboration, which is just like if you get a project at work that you need to complete. So entrepreneurship is still lonely. And for me, going back to work helped me with that because I thrive off of human interaction. Like I thrive off talking to people. Like I'm an extrovert introvert. Like I used to love just being outside talking to people, but now being outside talking to people, it really becomes an exhaustion thing for me. So I love that I can be inside my home comfortable and have interaction with people. Okay. So that actually helps me. And then it reignites something inside of my brain that unleashes my creativity. While I have been back into the work environment, I've been super creative. I have been like super dedicated to a lot of the things that I love to do. And like that passion is coming back, And like I said, most people feel to be on the scene. While they are starting to do that again, I've been able to fall back in love with my passions. And that to me is exciting. And I think people, okay, let's say this. People take what they see on social media and they assume and they make their own thoughts up about something. Let me give you guys an example. From what I post, people probably think that I am making so much money. But I get the same excitement from making $4, $400, or $4,000. I can make one sale and I'm going to show up and be excited and talk about that one sale, even if the next day I get 100 sales. I am going to celebrate all of those milestones the same. And I truly appreciate each stage that I'm in my business. And if I have a 10K month every few months, that's wonderful. If I have a 3K month every month, that's amazing. To me, it's still amazing because working for yourself and being able to make 10K without leaving your home is some shit that you gotta applaud yourself for, okay? Seriously, it's a whole setup. It's a whole job. This is why we have offices at home, and that's why we got hard drives and computers and cameras and things like that. Because working for yourself, being an entrepreneur, especially if you don't have clients, especially if you don't have co-workers, it's still a 9 to 5. And I've also seen this with bigger brands that they've been struggling with supply issues, low stock, shipping delays. I'm kind of like, who am I to feel like a failure when corporations had to make major layoffs, like right on the holiday? Who am I to look at anything that I've done as a failure when people who have staffs of 1,000 plus, they have to pay payroll, taxes, they have to have meetings like when those big brands have that breakdown and disconnect in their own structure, it can motivate you like, all right, they got a big machine and shit ain't always sweet over there. And it's just me. So I think we got to get back to being able to applaud yourself for, like Issa Rae said, I did it by myself, for myself. Thank you to me for getting me here. And that is how I feel. Like, yeah, people supported me on the way, but before that support came, I showed up for me every day for me. So it ain't about being humble, but I am on that path where I'm here for a long time and a good time. So this is what consistently elevating looks like for me. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm proud of myself for consistently showing up. And I have so much more left in me. Every year, the beginning of the year, I always have pretty much big dreams and goals that I want to meet. And when I get a new idea, or when I'm able to create something from nothing, all of that is things for me to celebrate, because that means my creativity is still unlocking and I have so much more potential inside of me that is just waiting, brewing, and stewing to come out. So I want to know, have you noticed how consistently you have elevated? And until next time. Thank you so much for listening and subscribing to the Coins and Connections podcast. Don't forget to leave a review and join the conversation over on Facebook and Instagram using the hashtag Coins and Connections. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Cinquanta Cox-Smith and at Coins and Connections. You can shop all merch at www.coinsandconnections.com. I love you more than I love this podcast. Peace.